Those of you who know Tamala, you know she's a force of nature. For those of you who don't know Tamala, she is a force of nature. I first met Tamala when Seth introduced her to me as an elementary school principal at Rose Parks Elementary School, who might be open to having the not yet formed Bravo youth orchestras in her school. This was in 2013. She told us, I know you're looking at other schools, but I need you here. I have musicians in my school, but I don't know who they are. That's almost verbatim.
That is, yes ma'am. That's it.
Actually, we never looked at another school. Because we were so enamored of Tamala and her school. She opened her school to us 5 days a week, 2 hours a day after regular classes were over. So this was great because it would be familiar for the kids. They would just stay there at their school and we didn't have to pay a fee. But she didn't just open her school, she opened her heart to Bravo from that time until now and in the future. Having concerts at the school, making sure the Bravo kids learn music, but more than music. Self-discipline, focus, teamwork, joy, and pride. She taught the kids in Bravo that were not in Bravo how to be an appreciative audience. That was really amazing. I remember sitting with kids and they were so quiet listening to the Bravo kids play. She reveled in the accomplishments of the Bravo kids and she talked other principals into allowing Bravo to be in their schools. We needed Tamala and she always came through. She was our advocate. She was our guardian angel. But more than what she did for Bravo, Tamala knew her school kids and she loved them. She knew about their families, the stresses the families were going through. She knew when to push and she knew when to hug. She was a supremely dedicated principal. Now, I had a principal in high school who called me into his office several times. I also got called to the principal's office when I was a high school teacher. As a matter of fact, my grandkids said, tell us when you were called to the principal's office. I had to say, as a student or as a teacher? True story. I like to think it was for good trouble. So I know a little bit about principals. Tamala was a rare breed. She knew and loved her kids, and she had the highest expectations for them. Many were immigrants, many were from financially poor families. But with Tamala, they all deserved the best the city had to offer, and Bravo was part of that.
Yes, yes.
Tamala, after she left her job as principal, joined the Bravo board and has just now left that as well. Now she's in a choir, and she brings to it her salty humor and her wonderful singing voice. And we wish her well as she has more adventures and brings to us and others her sense of integrity, her marvelous talents, her acute sense of justice, her courage, and her strength. Tamala, I'm forever grateful to you for helping us launch Bravo, for helping it thrive, and for being my friend, my mentor, and my hero. Oh, that's good. They can read it in the film. Just in case somebody is without work. Hi, good evening. Okay, I'm gonna turn on my playground voice. I don't want to blow anybody out. First, I just want to thank you all for this. I didn't expect all of this, but I like it because it's small and it's quaint, and it was never about me. It was about an opportunity. And with Seth Truby and Dr. Bonnie, as I affectionately call her, came in to meet with me. I won't forget that day. And I sat in my office and I looked out the window and they were standing outside talking. I said, I need that. I never asked permission, but I was willing to apologize. I was ever called on the carpet about, just random starting an orchestra. That over 10 years later, fortunately, the superintendent at that time, Carol Smith, loved it when she first heard the kids, and I said, whoo. All right, good. And became a donor, would bring her mother to hear the children. You know how powerful that is? Like our kids, I remember Steph talking about them performing. And I said, it's October, and he talking about a program the first part of December. What they gonna play? I didn't believe it could be done. I was wrong, and I'm so happy I was. Because not only did they played and played and continue to play. I had dinner with Seth last night. He's now in North Carolina. But we were talking about some of the good old days. And I remember him saying we have to get the kids out there. The kids have to perform. I'm like, they gotta play first. But he took care of that part. The teachers, they took care of that part. They taught those children how to play those instruments. I went by one of the rooms, they would have sectionals every day. Yes, the people, 2nd and 3rd graders. And I walked in and I sat down, and the teacher was up instructing them how to put the bow away, how to take the violin out the case. And I had kids, some of the boys, you know how little boys are, they were crawling up under. I said, oh Lord. I went back to my office, my secretary says, what's wrong? I said, they're not gonna make it. They're gonna get put out. They under the tables. Those boys ended up being some of the best musicians, playing the cello, the violin, the viola, the bass. It was amazing, and those kids flourished. I don't know if you know, I was paying for our son, we were paying 30 minutes, one lesson a week, 30 minutes, and it was like, I think $25 back then.
Yeah.
At Ethos.
They were in there 10 hours a week, 2 hours a day. It didn't cost them anything but their time. And then I kind of was worried about my parents. I said, are my parents going like this? Are they gonna get it? Are the instruments, they go home? Are they gonna come back? What, all the things principals worry about. Worried for nothing. Because those kids, they loved it, the parents. Then the parents started sharing. I remember one mom, she had twins, Simone and Damone. Wasn't that right, Bonnie? Okay. And their mom came and told me, she said, when I went to Jefferson High School, she said, I was in the band, the orchestra, and I played the French horn. See, we don't know the gifts our parents bring, but we didn't have anything. We didn't even have music class. I had a brand new school, didn't even have music. Okay, I'm gonna cut my story short because I'm a storyteller. I wanna leave you with this. When I look back over my career, of which was 28 years with Portland Public School, 21 as a principal. Between John Ball, who was torn down and Rosa Parks was built. Rosa Parks has to be, for me, as an educator, one of my greatest accomplishments, given that opportunity to build a school. Now y'all building schools a dime a dozen, but back then, we hadn't had a school in a long time. And so when we built Rosa Parks, I was just excited and very grateful to be given that opportunity. And I would say right up there next to it is Bravo. Why? Because all kids deserve music. It's not about can I afford 10 hours a week. It's about I got 3 kids, they're all in Bravo, 10 hours, can I afford that? No, but they're getting it, and those parents showed up. They came to the programs. And one thing Seth always did, Seth and Bonnie made sure that when the kids got an opportunity, they got something out of it. So if when they went to the Capitol, remember Cynthia, we went with them, we had to go see the kids play for the governor. Then they got a tour of the Capitol. When they went to OMSI, they played, but they also got to play as children through OMSI. everywhere we went, or they took the children, there was something that the kids got to do. And that's important. So I learned a lot from my students. I learned a lot from Dr. Bonnie. They were in my building. They were just part of us. Seth, the teachers, and I met some amazing people. This is a program that should last forever, and I'm just so happy that I got to be a part of it. Thank you.
I don't know what took all the time you with Bravo, you got an instrument.
I didn't.
So now you do.
Oh
So
my
a bunch of us have
goodness. Oh
signed
my
it, so that
goodness.
is your own little
Oh
baby
my
violin.
goodness, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, you know that is so cute.
You can play with me now.
Yeah, they didn't give me the bow.
Oh, we'll get you.
Okay. Oh, this is good. You all thank you. Isn't this cool? I know this is bigger than mine, but it's okay. I'm back. Thank you, thank you.
Babe, stop.
Right now, I'd like